Alright guys, I just got back from the store. I picked up a ton of items for the cut. I'm going to be going through my meal prep for the week. That's 5 days. I'm doing 3 meals. And I also have 2 snacks, but I'm not going to be showing those in this video. These are just the meals that I meal prep. I've been losing tons of fat off of this meal plan so far. It's really high in fiber. It has a lot of veggies, fruits, and a ton of quality meat sources. Show y'all how to cook these up super quick so you're not wasting any time and you can get back to watching Dragon Ball Z. So if y'all are gonna be meal prepping from week to week, it helps if you have a lot of different cooking appliances. I have an oven, stovetop, microwave, and this little Ninja toaster, and then my griddle outside, which is already heating up. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the steaks on that. If you only have an oven or like a griddle, you can cook everything on that. It might just take you a little bit longer. All right, so you're gonna want to dry your meat. You're gonna dry all these strips. These are New York strips as well. I like this cut because it has like pretty good fat marbling on it. So it has a super good flavor, but not too much fat. So you're not getting a ton of calories. It still is high in protein. Okay, so after that, sprinkle some pink Himalayan sea salt. All right, we got the steaks cooking up. Coming back inside. I already have the stovetop heating up with a pan. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of this spray olive oil. You don't wanna use like a block of butter or anything like that unless you're just quickly rubbing it on the surface, because that's gonna add a lot of fat. Or if you do that, make sure you're adding that in on your calories, because you can go way over on your calories with just a little bit of butter. All right, we got the 96.4 lean ground beef cooking up. This is like 2 pounds, and this is what I'll use for 5 days throughout the week. I only meal prep for 5 days because on the weekends, I kind of do like an intuitive day of eating kind of approach where I just cook on the spot since I have more time. So this is what I'll be eating while I'm working throughout the day and I have minimal time and just have to pop it in the microwave. So same thing here, I don't do a ton of seasoning because I don't mind how the ground beef tastes, and I like to taste my steak as well, so I just throw some salt. I salt it pretty good. And then while that's cooking, I'll go outside and flip the steaks. All right, I just got done flipping the steaks over. I like them to be medium rare. So like a little bit of red on the inside. I do about 4 to 5 minutes on like 400 degrees Fahrenheit on the griddle. And then in the meantime, I have the ground beef cooking up right here and the oven preheating to 425 for these sweet potatoes that I'm about to get cooked up. All right guys, something else I got from the store are these monsters. Anytime there's a new monster, I always pick it up because I'm a monster addict. It's Ultra Wild Passion, and then this one is Lando Norris. I don't know who the fuck that is, but I don't know. I don't even know what flavor this is, to be honest with you. But I'm gonna be trying these out, and I'll let y'all know if they're good or not. I like the white monster the best, so we'll see if they're a contender. All right, I popped the steaks off the griddle. This is what we're looking like. Pretty good medium rare on the inside right here, so. All right guys, with your sweet potato, you wanna make sure you have the correct amount for your meal preps. So before you cook it up in the oven, I like to weigh out each sweet potato. So I need to get 1,000 grams divided up by 5. So 200 grams of sweet potato each day. All right, now that we know we have 1,000 grams of sweet potato, we can start chopping it up. So I just like to go straight down the center here. Straight down the center again. All right, so I cut it up just like that. All right, and then you're gonna pull out a sheet pan and you're gonna pull out your aluminum foil and get enough to cover it. So I need about 2 sheets. All right, so you're gonna lay out all your sweet potatoes just like this. Let them all have room on the pan. Spaced out nice and even, just like that. Go ahead and give them a dash of olive oil. And then throw whatever topping you want on top. I'm gonna throw this ground cinnamon on. a little bit of cinnamon, and then this pink Himalayan sea salt again. All right, y'all can never have too much salt, so throw as much as you want on there. All right, then we're gonna come over here to the oven and the stovetop. This is all done, so I already took it off the heat. Throw that to the side so it stops cooking. And then we're gonna get these sweet potatoes. Go ahead and throw these in on top. Let those cook up. I'm gonna do about 30 minutes. All right, so 30 minutes on the timer for the sweet potatoes. And then in the meantime, while all that is cooking up, I'm gonna chop up some asparagus. The next step, we're gonna get this asparagus cleaned up. I need 125 grams for each meal prep. I'm gonna have 5 of them, so we're gonna go ahead and throw this on. And with veggies, you don't have to be super particular about weighing them out because they're pretty much like no calories, unless you're eating something like corn or like a higher calorie vegetable, but the majority of vegetables aren't gonna have too many calories. So when you're on a cut, you don't have to worry too much about weighing everything out. Same thing that I do with the sweet potatoes. I'm just gonna grab a pan like this. I like this one because it has like the little drip rack, so it kind of dries these out and makes them like pretty good. It bakes them really good. So I throw them on here like this, kind of make some room. And then you're gonna go ahead and throw some olive oil on there. Some sea salt. If y'all aren't aware by now, pretty much all I use to season my food is pink Himalayan sea salt and spray olive oil. I also love this G. Hughes sugar-free ketchup. This is the bomb. It tastes like Whataburger's ketchup, and you're not really gonna tell a difference. So I use this on a lot of stuff, especially if I'm eating beef liver. And then I just got this sweet chili sugar-free sauce from G. Hughes as well. And then I got this Stubbs zero sugar simply sweet barbecue sauce. So I'm gonna be trying this out. I haven't tried this one or the sweet chili, so I'll let y'all know how those are. We got a lot of new items today. The Monster, these sauces, and then I also got this cranberry Sprite, zero sugar. So I love cherry Coke and cherry Sprite, anything like that I'm drinking. So I'm imagining cranberry is pretty much the same, but no, it's not the same. It tastes like cranberry Sprite, but that's pretty good. I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these in the oven. With the asparagus, I just kind of eyeball it, so they always come out looking like toothpicks because I cook them too long. I just throw those in there for a little bit and then let them cook with that sweet potato. And the timer says 20 more minutes on that sweet potato. So in the meantime, we're gonna take this ground beef and throw it onto a plate because I want to go ahead and get the beef liver cooking up. We're going to be having an absolute feast every single day at work. All right, so with the beef liver, I just line it up like this, and we're just going to cut it in little strips. So you're just going to spray the pan with a little more olive oil. It has the fat from the ground beef, so you don't really need a ton on there. I'm going to go ahead and throw this back on the stovetop with that beef liver. And in the meanwhile, I'm gonna eat a little bit of a snack. I got these Oikos 000 blueberry yogurts. These are super good if you're in a time crunch and need some quick protein. You can just pop them out of the fridge and then throw down, it's like 16 grams of protein, I think, 15 grams. So 15 grams of protein. All right, for the carrots, I need 125 grams each day. So in total, that's gonna be 625 grams of carrot. All right, we're at 660 grams of carrots right here. I'm gonna cut these tops off, so that's gonna take off that additional like 40 grams. All right, so asparagus was in there for about 17 minutes. It's looking pretty good. Here's what we got. So that cooked up pretty nice. Finally didn't cook them to a crisp like a freaking toothpick, so those are good to go right there. And then with these carrots, chop them in half so you have like little carrot sticks like that. All right, got all those chopped up. The sweet potato should be done, so I'm gonna check on that. All right, just got the sweet potatoes out. That's how they're looking. All right, sweet potatoes are cooked perfect. And that just smells amazing too. That cinnamon. All right guys, so since I already measured out everything on the scale before cooking it, and made it a lot easier when it comes to portioning these out in the meal prep containers, because all you have to do is eyeball it now. You don't have to be super accurate with getting a gram here and a gram there in each meal prep, because when it comes down to it, the weekly total of the calories that you're eating is gonna sum up to the amount you need. So I'm gonna get these all portioned out and I'll show y'all what I put together for each meal. Alright, last thing, I almost forgot, we're going to be chopping up these honeydews. This is going to add a ton of volume to that ground beef meal. So if you're someone that gets like super hungry throughout the day and you're at work always hungry and you can't get your mind off of it, this is going to help a ton. I'm just going to throw 400 grams of honeydew and some Ziploc baggies. And this is going to help cure those sugar cravings and get you super insanely shredded. So we're going to be eating 400 grams of this each day. I'm going to cut up 2 of these, and whatever I don't use I'll just throw in the fridge to have as fruit for my snacks later. Y'all could do any melon that you want. I just do honeydew because I love it, but you could do apples, you could do cantaloupe, you can do watermelon, any fruit that you like. But this is probably going to be one of the most filling fruits because it has very low calories for the amount that you're intaking. Alright, a little cheat code for getting these seeds out on a melon. Just get like a big ass spoon. You're going to cut into the back part and then scoop all the way around the edges like this. Just like that. You lose a little bit of fruit like that. It's like a little cone. Alright, and then when it comes to cutting the honeydews or any melon that you have, we're all about saving time. So all you're going to do is cut it in half. And then you're going to keep it like this, and you're just going to go around the edges and cut the peel off of it, and then you're going to start slicing into it. Alright guys, after cutting up that honeydew, I made a meal. I got some kiwi with some sourdough bread and some egg. It's a fire meal right here. This is like what I do on the weekends. I just throw something together. And today I wanted to try that sweet chili sauce that I just got. So I cooked this up real quick. Let's give it a shot. That's straight fire. Y'all gotta give that G Hughes sweet chili sauce a try, because that's really good. And the tip for y'all is eat your kiwis with the skin on. It has a lot more nutrients, and supposedly it has like double the fiber intake. I don't know if I believe that, but I'm gonna eat it anyway, because if there's a chance that it does have double the fiber intake, that's gonna fill you up even more. So I'm gonna eat it with the skin. It kind of has a weird texture, but it's worth it to be a shredded cunt. So alright guys, now that I have all the honeydew chopped up, I pulled out 5 Ziploc baggies. They're like quart size bags, and I'm just gonna fill up each with 400 grams of honeydew. So the way I do it is just throw that bowl on that I had earlier and zero out the scale, and then you're just going to be able to grab from here, wait for it to go to negative 400, and then you're good to go. Alright, so we got some solid meals prepped right here for lunch and dinner, but we still need to prep up that breakfast meal, and that's going to be some of this Fage yogurt. I'm going to do that with honey, and I typically do blackberries, but you can do whatever kind of fruit you want. I like to do blackberries and banana. I don't take the time to cut it, I just go straight in. Alright, next thing going in is going to be either blackberries or raspberries. I just buy a ton of these, and people always say they want variety and they can't stick to a meal plan because it doesn't have any variety. Look at this shit. We got blackberries and raspberries. Like, how could you get more variety? So we're just gonna rinse these off, and I love these because You don't have to chop anything up. It's not like strawberries, you're sitting there for like 10 years just chopping the stems off of those. You're just gonna wash these off, throw them straight in, drizzle some honey on it, and we're done. So I'm gonna get these rinsed off. All right, got all these rinsed. We're literally just gonna go straight in like this. All right, so we got all the meals prepped up. I just need to throw some honey on the tops of these. I also put some salt on the tops of these because you can never have too much salt, and it's gonna make all the flavors come out way more in all the other meals. But I'm gonna get this honey thrown on all these real quick. All right guys, so that's pretty much the majority of what I'm eating to get shredded throughout the week, Monday to Friday. And then I also have 2 snacks every single day. So I'll add in some yogurt, some sourdough bread, some dark chocolate, anything that's quick and easy, like cottage cheese. So if I need more fats in the evening, I'll have some dark chocolate, but this is the majority of what I'm eating right here. Highly nutritious food. And if you're cutting on lower calories, you can just leave out the snacks that I add in and just eat these meal preps as your entire intake. This comes out to around 1,500 calories, but I'll pop it up here on the screen. Alright guys, so these are the meal preps that I've been following for about 2 to 3 weeks, and I've lost like 7 pounds so far, so we're dropping tons of fat, and these meals are making it super easy for me to lose weight because they're giving me tons of energy and helping keep me full so that I'm not craving things throughout the day and binging at night. But if you want to switch some things out in them, maybe you like chicken thigh better as a protein source, feel free to do so. Or you want like white potato instead of sweet potato. Everything is kind of interchangeable, so it's for you to customize and make it how you like it. Just make sure if you're switching from something like steak to chicken thigh that you're going in MyFitnessPal and making sure that you're still hitting your macro and calorie targets for the day. Guys, I'm gonna end the video out here. I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments if you try any of these meals or anything you'd like to see in the upcoming videos. Peace.